Good morning, everybody. Wow is all I can say. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in August. I'm going to give it just a couple of minutes and hoping that people can get on here and let me know that you can see. Maybe I can see your comments this morning. I got some important things to cover. I just want to give it about 30 seconds. Hope you're going to enjoy this beautiful weekend. August in Michigan is a wonderful, wonderful place to be, and we've got a lot to do, don't we? Shoot me a comment or two. Say hello this morning so I know I've got you out there. Perfect. And if Conrad, you're out there, if you could share this over to the group, I would appreciate it. I forgot to ask you about that. So, exciting morning, exciting week. What did you all see this week? We reached 100,000 signatures. I'm sure most of you are fully aware of that by now, but I have to tell you, not only did we reach 100,000 signatures, but we did it in record time. The fastest to 100,000 in the state history for any petition, initiative, or drive, and it's thanks to all of you, every single one of you out there. It is only because of you that we're where we're at. It's only because of you that we formed this organization, and together, we're going to first repeal the 45 initiative. But I've got some exciting stuff for you today. Let's cover just a couple of things in regard to the petitions themselves. Again, I'm just going to do a reminder. Posted at the top of this page is going to be the information such as where people are registered to vote. We still have probably the number one question is about the township and city. I'm just not sure where I'm at. And if you click on that where you're registered to vote, take that off the top of this, put it on your own telephone. And if anybody, when you're circulating, has that question, click on that link. It goes right to the stateofmichigan.gov website under /vote. The link is there, and you can put in their information, hand your phone to them, and in 30 seconds, they'll know exactly where their township's at. Their zip code will be where they live. Everything else, try to match their driver's license as best you can. It's the safest and easiest way. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is that so many of you are having petition events, and we want to make sure when you do that, yes, you post those things onto our group page, but understand you're kind of preaching to the choir there. So yes, it tells other petition people in that where to show up, and there are certainly thousands of members of our group that don't have circulation options, so they're going to come and sign. But we're kind of getting those people the message. What we want to make sure is that all of your postings, and even these event things, that they are made public. And I'm just going to read this from here. People who are posting stuff on Facebook about signing events need to make sure that they're posting public, or at least they're making it public to their friends. Many of the posts are just inside the Stand Up Michigan, which of course are preaching to the converted. We could up our traffic at these signing events if we make them shareable also. So make sure it's public and shareable of where you're going to be. We've even had a couple internal that have done, and we found that you can't share them, you can't open them, and they're private, and only your friends can see them. So I want to make sure that all of your events get posted on your social media and shared with all of your friends. There's some links on there. I know Garrett even put something up yesterday about how you can invite all of your friends to follow the page that we have. But go ahead and list those. Share them within your own community, because those are the people we want to reach who don't even know exactly what we're about yet. I think I'd mentioned to you before, but I'm going to mention it again. Our goal was to get 20,000 of you. Our goal was really 25,000. We use the word 20,000 because that is how many of you we originally got to do that survey. So we said, we think we can get back to 20,000 people that'll be willing to circulate petitions. When we blew through 25,000, we had no idea where it was going, and just the Stand Up Michigan group of people have gotten close to 40,000 of our group or members that have asked for petition kits. I believe most of them are now reaching them. We know how difficult it's been for a lot of you in the UP to get your petition kits. A lot of those are just arriving today, as are so many of the tools and assets that we've had to help. The signs, the flags, the tents to each region, even a couple regional people have only been added in the last 10 days. So the organization has been put into place. It has taken 3 to 4 weeks to put a process in place. And one of the things we also want to do, which a lot of you have been concerned with, is the Postal Service, right? So I want to share just one quick story with you. We actually did a USPS overnight mailing from Algonac, Michigan, the end of July, and that was with some petition information in it. That still has not been delivered. It is still showing that it is at a Detroit sorting facility. So we know that there are games that can be played with the Postal Service. We also know if you put them into a plain envelope or you put them on with some sort of tracking, it certainly will help. But what we've done now is we're moving off of, as much as we can, weaning off of the Postal Service. If it's easier for you individuals, feel free to do that. But we now have the regional people in place. And if you go to the Stand Up Michigan to Unlock Michigan page, you can click on the announcement area, and you'll be able to find the list of regional people. There are 5 regional people around, plus all the Stand Up Michigan people that can also put you in touch. There are now county people underneath those that are responsible, and what they're going to do is, as you know, we collected from all of you your email addresses. We're sending you some emails. Unlock Michigan sends you some specific to the campaign. Stand Up Michigan sends you some, both backing our organization, and obviously details about this. The reason I share that with you is we're going to continue to look, please, to your email. And the reason is we can give you a bit more direct information than to have you scroll through and try and find it by just watching these lives or going to a group page where obviously we're sharing lots and lots of information. But we're going to begin to post and send you an email. Those will come from Unlock Michigan that will give a list of events that are happening. It will also give you a list of connections or places that you can meet up to drop off your petitions and pick up more petition sheets if you need them. Those are becoming more and more available, and I think probably a lot of you are getting connected with somebody within your county where you can collect your petitions together and somehow get them to the county or regional person where they're turned in on a weekly basis by hand. That's the direction we're headed for the month of August and probably in September. And when I say probably, we believe that in September, we think we can get there in September. I see a lot of you are following up with this on the big number. Understand we need 346 or so thousand. We're after 500,000. And now we're throwing out this million because we know the energy is so strong. We also don't want to wait an extra 3 or 4 weeks to get to some number when we could easily be in front of the Secretary of State, which is the next battle once we secure all of these signatures. But we are getting there. We're going to get there quickly, and we appreciate all your help. So a couple more things before I get to the meat of our conversation. Oh, yes, the UAW letter. We're going to touch on that in just a minute. But one thing I want to share with you. Remember, when we did this, we mentioned to you it has never been done before. Understand, never been done before where a citizens petition initiative has been mostly run by the citizens and collected signatures by the citizens. This is not only rare, but we are doing something and potentially setting a standard that has never been reached in the state and most of the country. The strategists, and I've mentioned this to you, but I'm going to mention it again, have said these are usually epic failures, is the word they use. When they do get them, they don't circulate them. When they circulate them, they make too many errors, right? All those things that we've discussed were the questions we had to answer and ask ourselves because we have to be realistic. So we have tried to spend as much time as we can with you, filling you in on as much as possible, reminding you. You'll see those daily reminders. If you're not on the Facebook group, please join. Stand Up Michigan to Unlock Michigan. Please answer the question. We're over 60,000 members there. This week, our Facebook page passed 100,000 followers, and it is growing. And we ask you, again, Garrett posted yesterday, go through a short group, literally, it'll take you 2 minutes to invite all of your friends to follow or like the Facebook page. Then they too will get the information that they're not getting through the media. But here's what I wanted to share with you. Right here, in my hands, we have the first information of the circulated petitions that have been turned in by we the people. The folks doing the signature verification, I'm reading this so you get it straight from the word of mouth here. The folks doing the circulation and signature verifications, who have been through countless petition drives in the past, say that the quality of the volunteer petitions is among the highest they have ever seen. Yes, I got chills and goosebumps on my arms. Kudos to everyone who is dotting the I's and crossing the T's. This is one of the last big unknowns that we had. We weren't sure that volunteers were going to get as excited as they have, but boy, are they ever. And we weren't sure that the quality was going to be high, but now we have indeed checked that box. I want to give you one more piece. Now, the numbers will go down from here, and this was a sampling of thousands of signatures turned in through We the People. 92.71% of the signatures were verified as accurate on those pages. 92.71. We would have been happy in the 80s, upper 80s. We would have been satisfied if we were in the upper 70s with the volume that are out there, and honestly, I believe that's what they anticipated. 92.71 is higher than most professionally run, and that is because why? We have the energy, we have the drive, we can pay attention, we can do things safely, and we can also take back our freedoms. And we're doing this together, and this is just another thing. I didn't know what this answer was going to be. I know how many questions we've had about places to sign. You are doing it and doing it right. Now, don't let up on those things. And so we're going to add one more thing to your list. A lot of you have said, I've got extra petition sheets, or where I am, I have some extra sheets, and people have said, if I can take them, I'll get them filled out. When you give those to them, here's what we ask. We already mentioned, and the link is in here too, is how to properly fill out a petition. The video with Carl Menke's there. Please make sure they're watching that video before, during, and any of their events so that they make sure that anybody's going to take petitions from you, they filled out that information. Secondly, getting them counted by the Secretary of State's office obviously is what we're looking for. That's going to be the next phase of this. But we want to make sure that as these people take these petitions from you, do the following. If you would please keep track of their name, email, and address. If you could get that from the people you're handing those to, we want to add them. Just send those to your regional director and say, I gave 5 petition sheets to this person. Here's their information. The reason we say this is we want to add them to this email list. I'm going to explain to you why in a little bit, because as we go through this next process, we want to stay in touch with all the people who circulated petitions, and we want to do it off of social media at times, because it is important that you're going to be able to keep all the current information up to date, and some of it we may not want to share here. So we already have over 50,000 of you that have volunteered, that are circulating, and that we're going to keep in touch with both here and also through our groups and pages, but also through email, because there will be some email links, and I can tell you there are some new exciting things going to happen through your email that aren't going to happen here, so we can be under the radar and we can stay on top of things and spread the word virally without having to be censored, if you know what I'm talking about. So that's it. When you pass out sheets, again, please get their name, get their address, and get their email and their phone number if you can. And the reason is, just forward that and say, gave 10 petition sheets, gave 30 petition sheets. I had somebody yesterday was going to a biker rally and said, I've got 200 people, they're going to sign, I need petitions. If we get their information, we add them in. Then if they need more, they also know where to get, because we'll email them that link for them to be able to get it. So all these people saying hi, I want to make sure that you get that information. I thank you for showing up today. And now I want to talk about this. Okay, I know I'm smacking paper, but this is an amazing. You talk about firing us up, giving us more fuel to the fire, along with Executive Order number 164, along with last night, the newest directive of if you have anybody with a sore throat, you're supposed to lock yourself in your house for 14 days. Yes, that came down also yesterday evening. It is craziness. But let's talk a little bit about this. For those of you that haven't heard, for those of you that haven't looked at what's pinned at the top of our page today, it was a letter from the UAW to all of its members, sent at 5:02 yesterday afternoon. Dear UAW brothers and sisters, we want you to be aware of a dangerous new petition drive that has been launched that would strip the governor of her emergency powers and undermine her ability to keep us safe during a pandemic. Yes. So it is directly against it. Now, do you notice the word, by the way, it's used 3 times in this letter, the word dangerous. Where did that come from? Do you remember the word dangerous? Oh, that came directly from the governor, didn't it? And it came from who else? the Democratic National or Democratic State Committee members. Dangerous, reckless, irresponsible. Those were the things that would happen if indeed the Repeal 45 was ever to take hold. So they're following it up here in a letter to them. We are dangerous. Now here is where they are completely disconnected from we, the people. Let me read from here. The anti-union paid operatives. How many of you 50,000 are getting paid? I didn't think so, and neither am I, just to let you know. They are paid operatives gathering signatures that will literally say anything to get you to sign. Now, we have given you specific instructions, but I just want to read to you, and I now want you to read directly from the petition sheet. I want you to read the one sentence to those people who say, what is this about? It is an initiation of legislation to repeal the Emergency Powers of Governor Act 1945 PA 302. That's it. There is nothing else to be confused with. I think our signs do a pretty good job. End Whitmer's endless shutdown. Unlock Michigan. They're saying that is a cynically named Unlock Michigan. This is a partisan political power grab that is being bankrolled by right-wing anti-union special interest groups. Wow, is all I can say. Wow. So what I want to go into now, though, is the next step. Unlock Michigan is attempting to avoid both disclosure of its special interests, donors, and the vote of the people. If they gather enough signatures, this dangerous petition, there's the word again, could be approved unilaterally by Republican politicians in Lansing and not be able to be voted on. It's called a citizens' initiative. It's being run for one of the first times in state history by we, the people, the citizens. And there aren't paid operatives that are primarily running what we're doing. They are you doing this, but they don't understand it because it's never been done before. They don't relate to the signs that you're making, the effort that you're taking. They don't get it. So we're happy that they're writing this. But here's where we go from there. The threats. If you see petition gatherers, do not sign. Instead, we want you to report or record their activities of any petition gatherings or gatherers, under the name of Unlock Michigan and call a certain number and submit a text to that number or leave a message. We are encouraging everyone to avoid and not sign this dangerous petition. What they're saying is they'd like just a little bit of pressure on those of you sitting somewhere. They'd love to take pictures of you and what it is that you're doing. Well, that's just fine, because I think our signs along with those pictures are going to say exactly what it is we're doing. We don't need to lie and deceit. So this isn't political. No. This is just the UAW brothers and sisters speaking to each other, and I'm going to cover that in a minute. However, what this does is it says to them, this isn't politics, remember, but by 8 a.m. this morning, guess what? We have people watching things too. Facebook, Democratic Facebook county Facebook groups already posted all of this across the state of Michigan by 8 o'clock this morning, went out at 5:02 yesterday, just randomly. There's nothing political about this for them, nothing political at all. And what do? They post this letter talking about dangerous, only they added some other verbiage in there. It basically now says that all of you will lie and cheat in order to get people to sign. I don't know about you, but people are lining up. They're driving by. They're honking their horns. They're ready to sign. These people are completely out of touch. They don't have a clue as to what this has done to us individually, to our families, to our businesses. I know I'm getting worked up here, but I got to tell you, we are winning and they know it. But that doesn't mean they're going to stop attacking us at every turn, and just so that you're aware. So let's cover just a little bit about the paid circulators. Every petition initiative has a group of paid circulators. Understand these paid circulators are in all over the country at all times with various initiatives. Some may not even be statewide. Some are countywide. They're initiatives for certain things to be voted on ballots all over. And they'll have multiple petitions for people to sign. So they're out there. What I do want to say is I verified, because I've made lots of calls about some of you that have run into some of the bad apples. There always are bad apples. But understand, we want you to get their information. If you run into somebody saying, do you want to make money? If you run into somebody who says something that isn't true, if you run into somebody that you're worried about, they should be happy to give you who they are. Take a picture of them, send that to your regional person and a location where it happened, and they are going to follow up if indeed there was anything being done illegally or wrong or saying something that they shouldn't be saying in order to gather or get petitions. But what I can tell you is I verified yesterday afternoon that tens of thousands of petitions have been turned in and verified by paid circulators, and they're getting them in hard-to-get areas. It doesn't mean that there aren't others, but they are doing, and they're hardworking. A lot of them are professionals who work on these kind of campaigns. We've made their job easier. It's an easy sign. They don't need to lie either. It's one sentence long. But I want to let you know that they are out there. They are doing their best. But we, the people, are what are moving this movement. And I want you to know that. So let's go back to the UAW. It's now all over the Democratic thing. So don't be surprised if you have more people that are popping up and asking questions, right? Now I want to tell you a little story. I grew up in Port Huron, Michigan. I know I've seen a lot of people that have talked about being from Port Huron. Those of you that are from Port Huron and from the areas north of Detroit, and I don't care if you go to Flint, Saginaw, any of the areas there, it was founded on auto workers or people that work within the auto industry, supporting the auto industry in some way, shape, or form. For generations, my family, my extended family, 35 years at Pontiac, 35 years at General Motors. I have dozens and dozens of them that live their lives working 6 days a week for the unions and for the auto companies. They were proud to be parts of the union. This would have been obviously a while ago. It would have been from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Obviously, some of them still work there. But what I'm going back to is in the 70s and 80s, the unions they did protect their employees. They did protect and give them fair wages. They did things that were important. And I have to tell you, they are proud Americans. Getting a bit emotional. They're proud people. Proud people that when they finished their 6th day, their Saturdays, working in those auto companies, they came home and enjoyed time with their families. They went fishing on Sunday. They went bowling. My grandfather owned a bowling alley. His name is Ernie Coco. It was a bowlodrome and the Zebra Bar in Port Huron, Michigan, set on the Black River. And for decades, it was full of union family people. The same bowling alleys that have been closed and haven't been allowed to operate through this whole process. So all of you union members out there that enjoy bowling, your centers may never reopen. They like to fish, but they were told you can't fish with your own family. They have backyard gatherings. I was there. Yes, there was lots of beer. They also loved to smelt dip. They'd meet and congregate in large groups because that's what you do when you're part of a family. Extended family, union family, Americans. I don't believe for a minute that the union people do not support protecting their families, protecting their God-given rights. They do. They will. They are. The comments that we're seeing are patriotic. The union people are standing up because they're just like the rest of us. In some ways, they're harder than the rest of us. Typically, they come from second and third generations that have worked there. And they value what? They value their country. They value their family. And the people they work with are part of those families. And every aspect of those gatherings have been stopped. No more than 10 people in your backyard. I mean, in some states, they're shutting the power off to places that dare to have people there. Do you understand what's happening, people? This isn't about a virus. It's about controlling us. They will stand up. You're going to see a video that's going to come this afternoon. Garrett's going to do a live. And then all of you that have been circulators who have given us your email address, we're going to be sending you an email over the weekend. That email is going to include a call to action. Follow the directions in the email, and I'm asking you for a couple of things. Please do what we ask you to do in the email. It's not going to be on social media. And then we're going to provide to you a place to report back that you've done it without having to say what it is we've done. We the people are rising up. We the people are speaking up. We're standing up. We're signing up. And we are taking back our country. This is just the beginning, folks. We're there. I'm going to answer a few questions because I'm done with my rant. I know I've been on here probably too long already. But what other questions might you have? I've got Jan here saying, remember my grandfather's bowling alley and bar. By the way, friends with the unions, friends with the police, they were all part of the same community. National softball tournaments went on there. The whole East Side is based around that. And they are freedom-loving Americans. And these people, probably some who knows what age wrote this non-political statement, doesn't have a clue who their membership is anymore. We're going to bring them with us because this is not about partisanship. It's not about Republicans or Democrats or liberals or conservatives or libertarians. This is about individual rights and constitutional rights and freedoms that we're going to proclaim and claim for ourselves again, and we are going to defend. One thing I hope all of you know, and I know we've mentioned it before, but even when we were the independence of our country were happening, only 30% rose up. The other 70% were happened to conform and pay the taxes. We have a lot more than the 30%. And we are coming for those powers. Support from Florida. We appreciate that, Jan. We know you're dealing with a lot of things down there too. Not quite the way we are, but we're all in this together. Where do I need to put my email? You're going to get a link being provided to you through Garrett's. You can actually put it into comment. I'm just going to give you, for those of you that are on here, you can send me your information if you want to. Send it to Ron at armstrongdisplay.com. Email me your address, information. I'll add you to the email list that way. That's simple. You'll see another post that will be put up here of a place that you can go to, the info at standupmichigan.com place, and put your information in there. But we're going to provide you a simple way for you to do that going forward. A lot of people out here, obviously, this is a great patriotic, great weekend. It's a summer weekend. There are lots of events going on, and we're just ramping up, folks. House and Senate members are all over the state in this next couple of weeks holding events. There are many events going on in Lansing that are protesting. I know we're talking about anytime you can get down there, that's terrific. Right now, we're going to try and have Unlock at most of these events. We're after the youth. If you have young Americans, young Michiganders who are college age or young professionals who want to join, we need the Instagram crowd. We need them to work on Unlock Michigan. They are the leaders in the next generation, and we need their support. We are heavily into the middle to older range because we somehow understand this a little better. We're also a little more on the Facebook end and not in the other social media platforms. We are trying to reach out. The brand is effective, however, so we've got some events with young people too. So there are all kinds of things going on this weekend. We ask you just to go out and get signatures. We ask you to enjoy and, yes, hug your family. The latest executive orders are going beyond even anything we could imagine. I'm not going to discuss the details on here. You know what they are. But what I would say to you is, get out there, explain to them what this is about. This is about taking the power away from one. It doesn't matter if it's now a Republican governor today or if it is a Democratic governor tomorrow, a Republican governor 4 years from now. We have to take the power away from one and replace that with the checks and balances that are meant to be in place. That's the way we're supposed to be governing. And for these same union people who are voting for their Democratic operative people running for the House and Senate, my question is why? Why are you voting for them at all when you believe it'd be dangerous if they had a say? It doesn't make any sense, folks. So watch for Garrett's Live this afternoon. Watch your email box, and we're asking you to please, it could be any time over the weekend when you get it, and you have the whole weekend to get it done, but when you see that email, follow through with the call to action. You've done some of these before. This is an important one. And together, we're going to send a message. Together, we're going to unlock Michigan. And this dangerous thing they're talking about, just like everything else has been talked about from these people, the danger is not on our side. The truth is on our side. And as Garrett has told you, and as I would say over and over again, if you all tell the truth, you never have to remember what it is you said. That's where we're at, to provide you good, solid, truthful information. That's what we're here for. Go and enjoy the day. Share this video. We're going to leave this up. I think I've tried to be pretty clean and clear with it because I want people to see it. I want you to share this with any of your union friends and ask them to join and follow and like our page, join our group, get a petition, sign a petition, take pictures of themselves signing the petition. We're going to post those too. And follow the call to action. Enjoy the weekend. We love all of you. God bless Michigan and God bless America. Have a great day.